So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you are listening from. Okay, and the this is the solution for the assessment that was given. Okay, the one of the portfolio sites. Now, this is the solution. Now, some of you did, some of you tried, some of you did something else outside what I said you should do, and you all did your best, and I appreciate that. Okay, so today I'll be trying to teach you how to use AI to even learn how to do it. Okay, use it for how we're using it, but also how to use it to learn how to do these things, because I feel like it's also important as we are rounding up this whole IT. I feel like it's an important skill that you should have. Okay. All right, so I'm going to open up I already have my VS Code open here, and I have created my HTML and my CSS files. Okay. Now back to this. In here, I can now see the goal is that we don't just want it to just write our codes. Okay. We need it to also sometimes explain what it has written. And also, one of the problems that we've been facing is that it sometimes will write prompts and then it will give us advanced codes, right? And it will give us code that we've not seen. So that's because we've not been adding something called constraints. Okay, we've been telling you what we wanted, okay, which is good and fine, but we also need to add something called constraints. Okay, this is the word constraints. Is the word here, constraints. Okay, so we also need to tell it what not to do. We need to tell you what to do and also what not to do. Okay, so I'll be giving it the stuff I taught you guys called persona. All right, a personality that we want it to use. All right, and the personality we're going to be asking you to use is a web instructor, because you all are still beginners and you need to be told what it is doing. All right, so you need to know what it is doing. As I always say, you need to know exactly what that AI is doing for each part of your code. Okay, for each part of your code. So as you can see, these codes, these guys are in sections, right? They are all in sections. These are all boxes. These are all boxes. It was really the layer that I was really after. But anyway, you all tried your best. So I'm not you all tried your best. But your best, we still need better. Okay, we still need better. So the person I'm going to be giving it today is I'm going to tell you to act as a web dev instructor. Okay, that can teach beginners. I'm going to tell you to assume that the students currently understand. So we're going to be telling it the skills that people have already understood, or the part of code that people already understand. Okay, if the thing that people already understand, that's what I'm going to be telling it, so that it knows what to use. Because sometimes it brings pseudo elements, it brings functions inside CSS, and you people have not gotten there yet, so that is not very useful to people. Okay, so I'm going to tell it what people already understand. Okay, people have understood HTML, CSS. All right, so okay, I'm going to be more specific. CSS selectors. Okay, people have understood the box models. People have understood flexbox. People have understood is there another thing? Flexbox. Then for this particular project, it was supposed to lead you to something called grid. I was really hoping everyone would have learned it. You have learned it to something called grid, and I was hoping that if you learn it, you will now come and ask me after how do we do this? But then that's still fine. So I also add a basic CSS grid. Whatever code it brings, I'll explain the code. Okay, I'll explain what it is doing. I'll explain how grid works. And maybe I'll make a separate video on grid, but I'll still explain how grid works. So CSS grid, and then I'm going to give it a constraint to CSS grid. I'm going to tell it to help us build the layout using only the skills through concepts are listed above. And I'm going to even give it more constraints. Okay, I'm going to tell it don't use Java, although I don't think it's going to JavaScript, but just to be sure, okay, don't use JavaScript or any other CSS or any other style variants or styling variants. I'm also going to tell it do not use CSS variables. Now, CSS variables is that particular one that was explained that was like functions. Okay, that one that they said var, and you now see a function, and you can now put in the name of the color you want, so that whenever you call that color, it just brings it for you. That's what is called CSS variables. Okay, and I'm going to tell it. I'm also going to tell it not to use advanced tricks. Okay. Do not use advanced CSS tricks. Okay, and I'm also going to tell you one more thing. I'm going to see some other things. I'm going to see when solving the problem, analyze the layout and take a beginner first approach, so they know that it's beginners that is working with, right? And also, and you would also want it to explain what it has done for you. But so maybe for this one, I'll not tell it to explain, but for you, when you're giving it these constraints and these personas and stuff, you also tell it to explain what it is doing. But I don't have that time for it to start explaining things. I already understand what is going on, but should ask it to explain, so that, remember, I keep saying it, you should know exactly what your code is doing. You should know exactly what your code is doing. Okay, I'm also going to tell it if there are multiple solutions, choose the simplest one. Okay, and then I can send, and it says absolutely blah 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 blah, and you see, all right. So you've already learned margins, padding, border, width, heights, and you've learned flex, CSS. You've not CSS grid, but I'll explain, because this particular thing here, okay, the CSS is better with CSS grid. This is a grid, it's better with CSS grid, but all of you don't go drink fearless now. But anyway, we have fonts, border reduce, basic spacing, and then we have it says I'm not going to use JavaScript, CSS variables, CSS preprocessor, SAS, and the rest of them. Tailwind, Bootstrap. I want you to use position absolute. All right. Well, you should not use transform, clamp, aspect ratios, min max. No problem. Let's not use min max. Animation, pseudo elements, especially this one. I do not want you to use this guy. All right. Any advanced CSS tricks. Whatever it says, no problem. Okay, and then we'll now start the actual stuff. Okay, and first of all, we can see that our background, all right, this our body. This is our body. It's a shade of white and a bit of yellow. Okay, so we can actually do this on ourselves to get that background color, because you know, sometimes they say I can do some things, but sometimes you should also try out some things yourself, all right? And you can see that these guys are inside the container, all right? They're inside the box. They're inside what? A box, and this box has like width of like 70% or 70 view width, all right? And it's also at the middle. So these are things that you should tell it. These are things that you should be able to see by now. And then this particular box it has a bit of margin on top, right? A bit of margin on top. Okay. So these are things that you should see. These are things that you should tell it. You should be able to this stage see things as boxes. So first of all, I'm going to go and try and get this particular color. All right. So let's just try. Let's just use that you know. Let's just use it as warm up. Okay, and then I have this. I'll come here and okay, let me change this. Let me give it a link. And then we're going to be having styles.css here. Then I'm going to save, come back here, bring my body, and then I'm going to give it a background color. And I'm going to start off with whites. And then we can now bring this guy a bit down here to yellow, right? To yellow, and then bring this guy around here. All right, save, go back. All right, refresh, and it's a bit too yellow. It's a bit too yellow, so I'll bring it this way. Just a tiny bit more. Yeah. So we save, we come back. Oh, sorry. And yeah, I think it's looking like it now. So shout out to front-end mentor. All right, front-end mentor, shout out to them. That was where this particular layout was gotten from. Okay, I know it looks very close to it. Okay, so it's that simple. Okay, some things you just do it yourself. It's for the love of the game, you just do it yourself. Okay, so we now start. Okay, we now start. So now we are going to actually have to tell what's it called now? We are still going to tell ChatGPT that the background, all right, the background of the body is this color. All right, so we give it the color, then we now start so that it knows. All right, so that it knows. Then we can now start and now tell it that the body has a container, and I've told you that you can also use loose words. All right, you don't need to be 100% certain. So whatever it gives to you, you can always go and modify it. All right, you can always go and modify it. But that's not so much of an issue. All right, so we're going to tell you that the body has a container that is about. Now, at this point, you can use it as 70% or 70 view width. But I've told you, if you are dealing with container, it's going to hold other containers. Use view width. Okay, works way better. Okay, so we're going to say 70 view width. All right, and it should be at the center of the page. All right. And the next thing we are going to be having is we are going to come and prompt this guy. All right, come and prompt this guy and see that, as you can see, this is a box, all right, that has some sort of square, a black square that has a circle in it that has white border. All right, a circle in it that has white border. Then this is now a box that has border radius. All right, border radius, so that you can curve. All right, and then inside the border radius, inside the box, we now have free consultation. So that's quite simple. So we can come here and see in the container, there should there is a header. All right, that's the header that has a okay. There's a header. Let's see how big is this header. All right, let's say it's like 80 pixels high. There's a header that has a height of 80 pixels and a width of 100%. Because remember now, it is now the box that is inside now, right? So it should be taking 100% of this container that they are inside. I following. You should take 100% of the container that they are inside. Okay. Okay. All right. So it has a width of 80 pixels and a height of 80 pixels and a width of 100%. The header has a box that is square. Rather, that has a black box that is square, and the box has a circle with a white border. Okay, a circle with a white border, and after that is a circle with a white border, and then this is a square. I mean, this is more of a rectangle. When we anything it gives us, we can always go and modify it, so it must not be perfect. Now the second thing it has is this particular box. This one is purely rectangle. Okay. Then it also has, okay, then the header also has it also has a box that has a border radius of about when we can just say of about 20 pixels or 10 pixels. We can always go and edit it later. All right, 10 pixels with text that says free consultation. All right, free consultation has they should tell you is a black box that has a border radius of about 10 pixels that say with text that says free consultation. Do you know what border radius does now? Border radius just makes it have this. Okay, free consultation, and that text is centered both vertically and horizontally. All right, now that's for the desktop version. Now let's see what it looks like in the tablet version. Now in the tablet version, the only thing that changed was that this space here between the containers reduced to about it has only about 10% of the space. All right, so we can come here and see for tablet versions, the boxes. Okay, not wait, hold on. Now after we've done this, okay, we'll now see that both boxes have, I think that's a space between, have a space between between them. All right, have a space between them. Okay, now for tablet versions, the box inside, the box is inside should get bigger. The box is inside the header should get bigger, and the spacing between, now as I've said, you can structure this in your own language. Okay, don't copy code verbatim, don't copy prompt verbatim. You can structure this in your own language. So whatever you are seeing, just see what you're seeing. All right, and whatever solution it gives to you, you can always go and modify it. Okay, that's the essence of all our classes that we've been having, where we teach you how to actually do these things yourself. You can always go and modify. Okay, or even if it gives you something, you can always tell it that okay, it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this. I following. So there's no one way of doing this thing. All right, there's no one way of doing this thing. So we cannot say the box inside the header should be bigger, and the spacing between the container and the body should reduce to about 10%. All right, and then for mobile, the boxes should just get even more bigger. That's all. For mobile, the boxes you can specify inside header should get bigger, even bigger. All right, the boxes inside the header should get even bigger. All right, blah 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 blah. So whatever it gives to you, you can always go and modify with the elements inside them. All right, so we send that, and okay, so we just copy this. All right, okay, we don't actually copy it. All right, as we just copy this, and we can come back here. All right, clear this, paste it, and then make sure, let me reduce this. Make sure that the naming are the same. All right, styles.css, styles.css. All right, styles.css. And then for our CSS, we can now come here and copy this code. Come here, we can clear this, and then paste. All right, and I've already told you what this thing does, but it removes all margins. All right, removes all padding. Then box size, and I've already told you what box size does. Box size just means that every padding and every padding you use, every border you use, every distance you use, it will convert it to the actual height and width of the box, which is not really what we want to do. Okay, so you have our background here, then this has a display flex, blah blah blah, and it has a padding. All right, then this is our main container. Okay, this is our main container, and then you can see that in our header we now have one div that has logo box, then it has a circle inside it, then div class consultation, free consultation. Okay, and inside that's the same thing that happen. Container header, this is our header 100%, display flex, content space between. All right, align item center, and then we can now go and now check it out. So of course, remember, we can always modify. Right, this is the left black square, this is what it looks like, the white circle, this is what it looks like, and so on and so forth. Okay, I believe that you should already know these things. The width is 180, height is 60, border radius 10, display flex. The border radius is the one that makes it rounded. Okay, now display flex, display flex, justify content center, align item center. Okay, we save, we go back, we go to our documents, we refresh. What do you know? Looks exactly okay. Maybe it's a bit smaller. It's a bit smaller, but that's still fine. Okay, what we are going after is actually the layout itself. When I can still come here and increase this time. Okay, 40. Voila. Was that hard? All right. So we come here and you see that he's not making this thing responsive. He's not making it okay. Okay, he did do. He made it a bit responsive. He made it responsive. But our boxes are not responsive. It's supposed to be that. See that here is small bar. Here is a bit bigger, and here is even way bigger. Right? So we can go and do that one ourselves. Alright, so we can always go and do that one ourselves. So we can come here and we can start with reducing the height of these ones. Okay, the height and width, not of our circle. This logo box, we can come, we can start by reducing the height and width. Okay, so we are going to see this guy should now be maybe, let's say 40. All right, this guy too will also be 40. All right, and if we save and go back, all right, is that small, Abby? Then we can now come to this free consultation and also make it smaller in height. Actually, it's the height that should get small. It's the height that should get smaller. All right, and also the text. So we can come here and see for consultation, height should get even more small. All right. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger. We can change it to 50. That is good enough. All right. Then our circle too should also be smaller. So we can come here and make this 20 by 20. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that is that for that. All right. And then we can now come to our so now see what's going on. You can see that it did not use media query to make it responsive because we did not tell it to use that we know how to use media query. All right, we did not tell it that we know how to use media query. So we are going to be going and using media query. All right, so we are going to tell it to that it should add that it should add media query. All right, so we are going to ask it to use media query to make it to get the responsiveness I asked for in what again, sir? That's what I asked for the mobile, for the tablets and mobile versions. Okay, now it has brought back all these codes back, but the only thing that we really need is just this tablet version. Okay, so you can just copy all these guys. And I really hope you remember I really hope you remember, oh gosh. I really do hope that you remember media query. Alright, so I can copy, come back here. Alright, and I'm going to paste it here. So this is my tablet version. and then I'll go and copy mobile. All right. So this is why you need to know exactly what you're doing so that ChatGPT will not mind you. You can come here, copy, and then paste it in here. All right. And we save, we go back, we refresh. All right. All right. So that's okay. That's okay, right? That's okay. So that's the same thing he's doing here, right? Yeah. So that's fine. Okay, now we move on to the next section. So the next section we'll be working on is this text. All right, and if you look at this text, it is it's almost taking up like this. If this thing is coming from here to here, it's taking up like 70% or 60%. All right, it's taking up like 60% of. Can I copy this text? Okay, I cannot copy it. All right, taking up like 60% of our entire page of our entire box. Okay, so it's just that simple. You just come here and you tell it what you want. It's not that hard. Just tell it what you want. All right. So you just need to know how to be like, okay, this, and you can test out you can test out things, and then you can now decide that okay, 60% is not that fine. You now use your hand and change it. All right, use your hand and change it. Okay, so let's get this done. So the next, so I'm going to say the next section, or the next, yeah, the next section. Let's use a section for it. Okay, you can say should be a section that is taking up about 60, and you can say I'm using about because I'm not sure. All right, I'm not sure. 60% of our container, and it should contain a h1 and a p. The h1 being, or you can even say being the text. So as I'm trying to be as specific as I can, right? So being the text, design solutions made easy. So if I'm going to say design solutions made easy. All right. Oh, sorry. Design solutions made easy, and the P being with over 10 years of experience in various design disciplines. Oh, okay. Since we are making it for, since we say it's a portfolio site, okay. So yeah, you can add. It's not just designs, right? Anyway, since we are doing web design, it's mostly web design that we are doing. We've not actually started doing. It's more of web design that we've been doing. Okay, we just using HTML and CSS to design web layouts. So we can say design solutions made easy with over 10 years. So you put how many years we've had. With over 10 years of experience in various design disciplines, I am your one-stop shop for your design needs. So you can say with over, you put how many years you've been doing this shit. Sorry, this stuff. Design solutions made easy, and a P being with over, I'm going to put 4 years. 4 years experience with over 4 years of experience in various design disciplines. With over 4 years of experience in various design and development disciplines. All right, design and development disciplines. I am your one-stop shop for. I'm just going to say for your design. I'm your one-stop shop for your design needs. I can use that. I am your one-stop shop for your design needs. Okay, and then I'm going to tell you, since it already followed that same thing that our desktop and mobile versions did, so I'm just going to tell it should also in what's it called, in responsiveness, it should follow the same pattern that the boxes and headers used. Okay, all right, so you can now see for the responsiveness, it should follow the same pattern. The header used, which is its contents getting bigger, while the space between the section and the container gets smaller. All right, and we allow it to cook. Okay, we should also tell you that okay, no wala. Let's just copy what it has done. Then we can always make changes, right? So we come here and you can paste. Now remember, this is the div. Right, there's container, so this way it should be inside. Following, you can see that Visual Studio Code even draws a line for you, so you know. I think Stackbase does the same thing too. So it draws a line, so you know exactly where you are. All right. So we paste this inside this div. Okay. And then for our style, we named it. Did you name it hero? It's now a hero section, but anyway, no wala. We'll carry like that, and then we'll paste this in here. So you make sure that this is for desktop, then this is not for tablets. Okay, so that makes sense. You see, says ChatGPT sometimes the wise, and then other times to be doing like what I don't know. All right, now you can see that it's using REM. It's using REM. So yes, let's use REM. What you're going to do is you go and learn about REM. I've already touched it in class, so you can learn and know how it works. That's how you learn. Okay, so you can learn REM. All right. So I'm just going to come here and write I'm just going to come and write hero, and then I'm going to save all. All right, save all. So I'll be saying save all. I'll be using the shortcuts. All right, Control plus Alt plus S, and then let's go back to this and then refresh. Yes, and it has done this, which is not bad, but we have to tell it that this is not exactly what we want. We wanted it that it's going to stay at the center of our page. Okay, it's going to stay at the what? At the center of our page with text align center. So we can come back here and tell it that the text should be at the center of the page with a text align of center. Oh, okay. So it says the section is only so by default it sits on the left, blah 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 blah. So to move it to the center, use this. Okay. So okay, let me just copy this, see what it looks like, and then if it's not giving me what I want, I can then go and change it. I can save, go back, and okay, see what we can do here. So this is 60%. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. So this is a hero section. This is the .hero, right? So the .hero, let's see what .hero actually looks like. Okay, so to see that, we can come here and use border and use 1 pixels by one pixel by solid, and then we're going to give it by 1 color. Let's say so that it should contrast well. So this is what it actually looks like. Alright, this is what it looks like. So what we can do is, let's come back to this and check. Alright, let's come back to this and check. So number one is that our text is way bigger than this other text. Let me put it in desktop version. So our text is way bigger than this other text. Okay. But why is it using two different fonts? So, alright, see what we can do so that we don't have that issue. You can see that inside this consultation, it is using this font family. So what we can do is we can copy this font family. Alright. We can cut it and paste it inside body so that everything inside body will use that same font. Okay. Everything inside body will use that same font. Makes sense, right? Okay. So we can come back to this. Alright. And let's see. Alright, so let's make it about 70% first. Okay, let's change it to 70%. Receive. Okay, yes. And the next thing we need to make this text them smaller. Alright, they are way too big. Okay, so we need to make them smaller. So this is one of the reasons why you need to know what you're doing. As I always say, you need to know what you're doing. Okay, so let's make this text smaller. So now using 4 REM, so we can come here and change it to 3 REM, so what it looks like. Okay, let's make it 2 REM. Let's give it a 3. Alright, so 3 REM. And then the text too should also be smaller. And you can also see that the color of the text is not black. I follow you. So we come to our P and we can make our font size 1 REM. Okay. And then we can now change this from whatever it is. We can change the color. We're going to give it a color. We'll start off with black and then come here and change it a bit. So is even when it does give you something else, you should still be able to change it and get exactly what you need. Okay, and get exactly what you need. So now we can now come and remove this border. And this was really one of the reasons. This is usually one of the ways I use border. Yes, I can also use it as a design, as an effect. You get, like, if I come in and I change this now to black, it will look like some sort of, effect, but mostly a lot of times you're not going to be using border. Like, a lot of the times you use border like this, but most of them I use it to see exactly how my elements are inside the box, and then I can now make decisions based on how that box is looking. Are you following? So now I can now come here. You can either comment it or delete it. It does not exactly matter like that. And yeah, so that the padding here is a bit too much. Is that padding? There's line. Why is it adding line height? Let me change the line height. Okay, so what is it doing now? All right, let's change it to 1.5. That's all right. So this one, yeah, this one has a margin. Yeah, because I was wondering why this one was too big. You can see that H1 in here has a margin bottom, and that's why it is this big. But I've changed it to 10. So let's see what it now looks like. And okay, let's say it's actually 20. So let's make it 20. And why are we adding this margin bottom now? Remember, at the top here, we removed all margin and all padding. So what it means is that to some large extent, we have to be writing margins and padding manually. So you see, everything has its own trade-off. All right, so everything has its own trade-off. Okay, it's looking a bit more like it. Then we now try the responsive. Have I copied the responsive code? No, not. So I'm going to copy for tablets. I'm going to copy for tablets. Come here. I'm going to check where it is inside. It is inside 992. Okay. So I'm going to copy just this guy that's for 992. Copy him. Come here. All right. Paste him. Go and copy mobile. The one is 600. Copy him. Come here. Paste him. Save. Come back here. Go to header layout. Then when I now refresh, I can now it's not this big. Okay, so what's going on here? You made this too big. All right, you made it way too big. So we come here. All right, and let's reduce this first. Let's select 3. And you can see that the width increased. Let's say the width actually increased. All right. The width actually increased. So let's see. So we are going to come here and increase that width. We'll come to our heroes. All right, this hero here, and let's make it 85. But let me see let's make it 85%. All right. This is way too big. So we go to mobile and we also reduce it to mobile. Okay, we also reduce it in mobile. Where is mobile? It's not supposed to even take up 100. It's not supposed to even take up 100%. But anyway, what we can do is we can always come here and change things. Okay, we can reduce this thing to like a 4 REM. Okay. Yeah. It looks close enough. All right, and then for the P, we can still change this to 3. All right, so yeah, it looks close enough. We can let you go like that. Okay, and we are back here. So we are done with this particular section, and then this is now the section that I really wanted you all to go and study. But basically there is something called a grid. Okay, and I'm going to come here and search for grid. Let's see what grid looks like. All right, yes, so you can see, let me look for an image. Yes, now you can see grid right here. Let me use this one. This is a grid right here. Now, what is this grid doing, and how can it help us? Now, this grid that is here now means that we can come and add elements inside this grid. So we can add boxes. So imagine all right. So imagine that you come here, you can add a box here. You can imagine that bar. You can add a box here, and you can come here and add another box, right? So grid is one of the ways where we can make things structured in using CSS. We can make boxes structured using CSS. Okay, using CSS. Let me do for a better grid. A bigger grid, yes. So you can imagine you can come here and put one box here, right? Okay, maybe come and put another box here. All right, then you can come here, give one space, come here, put another box, come and put another box. All right, and you'll not be wondering what is now the difference between grid and flexbox. Now the difference between grid and flexbox is that grid is way more structured. Like grid is following a strict rule. All right, but flexbox just makes it flexible. You know what, I'm going to make a different video on grid and flexbox, okay, so that it will make way more sense than whatever I'm doing here. But this, basically, you're going to use grid. All right, you're going to use grid for this. But this is, you just imagine that there is grid here. Yeah, this is one full, that's 1 2 3 4. All right, then you can see that these guys are taking 1 1, and then these guys are taking the entire 2. Now I'll make a video on this so it will make sense. Okay, now for this particular one now, you see, there is, to start like prompting this will take a lot of time. So what we can do is we can actually grab this image and tell AI to replicate it for our own code. Okay, we can grab this, all right, and also grab this. All right, and think that is the way you should look in our website. Okay, so how do you actually grab it? How do you collect it? How do you so there's something called a snipe tool. Okay, there's something called what? A snipe tool. So if you come here and you type on, so now for the rest, the people using phone, you can screenshot it. But if you come here and you type snipe, you can see sniping tool. All right, the shortcut is Control Shift S, I think. I mean, a Windows Shift S. All right, but if you come and you click on sniping tool, all right, you can tell you can Windows Shift S to start a snipe. Okay, so you can close this and then press your Windows Shift and S, and this is what is going to Windows Shift S. Okay, I think it needs to be on. So Windows Shift S. Windows Shift S. Okay, it needs to be open. Hold on. Yes. Okay. So what you can do once you've clicked your once you've gotten your sniping tool, you can come to new. All right. You can see say new screenshots, right? And come to new. All right. Once you click on new, it's going to allow you select the area you want to screenshot. Or you can let you select the area you want to screenshot. And then you let it. And then it will screenshot it. All right. That screenshotted it. So what I can now I can screenshot that one, go to the next one, do Windows Shift S. Okay, it's not finally, it's finally working now. So Windows Shift S, and then let's try this again. All right, and then let's see what it looks like. Okay, so it stops here. All right, so you can come and also grab this guy. Windows Shift S. You can come and grab him and then screenshot him too. Or maybe we just need only that first one, and then you can now tell the where the other ones are placed. Or you can now tell the where the other ones are placed. All right. Then this one we don't need to screenshot this one. We already know that they're not placed one by one, and these two guys are side by side, right? So we can go back to our AI and we can add a photo. And so I'm going to go to pictures, and we're going to go to screenshots, and it's going to be somewhere around there. All right, so this is the first one. So I want to copy this guy, and then and also copy this guy too. So I held my control to select the both of them. So I'm going to say open. So I'm going to say open, and I would ask it. Let's see which one is. Okay, so I can ask it to recreate this layout, recreate exactly this layout for the page we are building. Okay, the first one, the first image is the desktop version, while the second image is the tablet version. For the mobile version, they are all they are all in a straight line. They are all vertical rather. With only the one written UI, UX and apps on the same line. With only the ones written UI, UX and apps on the same line. Okay, and you can also tell it to make space where I can add the illustrations. I'm going to tell it to get illustrations and link it for us. I'm going to source the internet and get the illustrations and put them in exactly where the ones in the image is. All right, and then you can also tell it that it should follow the same responsive pattern of elements getting bigger as we get to mobile, and then we allow it to cook. So it's still analyzing the image, still analyzing. Why is this sketching? I don't see she's sketching. Oh my god. Okay. I think he's trying to just hey god. This thing is going to waste my tokens. Okay, let's go with that now. At this point, we don't really have choice like that. It has done his mind, Abby. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, let's go with that. Yes, you can do yes, I approve. Now convert it to code. Convert it to code. All right, so we allow it. Okay, I have to this. What I can do is the layout piece of using this and make it responsive exactly as shown. Use placeholder image so you can drop in illustrations later or use relative free that you provide or that you explicitly choose. For example, each card would look like blah blah blah. Now already CSS with the also you can use source for royalty free images and use that. Let's see. Yes, in fact, that's what I recommend. A great source is Undraw, which provides customer. Yes. Yes, in fact, that's what I recommend. The best source is because all the illustrations are free. So please make sure that you read what is giving you. Make sure you read what is giving you. Here's how I'll build this section. Instead of trying to recreate the abstract artwork from your screenshot, I'll use high quality illustrations from. Yes. All right. Yes. Do that. every other card will follow the same pattern. This teaches students one usable layout rather than 6 unrelated ones. I can make the session on extremely close reference. About 95 to 99% visually identical using only HTML, Flexbox, basic grid. You see, I told you basic grid. You need to learn grid when you are trying to make video on grid. Box model and media queries you've covered so far while keeping the code clean enough for beginners to understand. So you tell it yes, do that. So the nigger don't freeze, the nigger is frozen. So you can stop, tell it to stop answering. Okay, so ChatGPT was having issues. So I had to wait for it to finish and then refresh the page. So let's end this. Let's tell you yes, do that. And then we allow it to cook. Around 250 to 350 lines of HTML is too large to fit accurately in a single chat. That's why without it being truncated. To keep it complete and usable, I'll generate it as a proper project file containing services.html, services.css to include exactly the desktop layout from your first. It's not supposed to be that big. Exactly the tablet layout from your second image. And I'll tell you exactly which 6 illustrations to download from so the finished page matches the design. This approach gives you project without any broken external link, and it is the same way you structure a real world front-end project. Alright, so we're going to tell you to actually do what it is advising. Alright, go ahead. And again, we allow it to cook. This is approved it to build exactly like we would in a front-end development class. One thing to note, a complete body section is several hundred lines long. I feel like it's just the CSS that is this long. The HTML is not this long, which is the maximum response length I can send in a single message. If I try to squeeze it into one response, part of the code will be cut off, leaving you with incomplete files. Here's how we do it. We build it in a small complete lesson, just like in a HTML structure, entire section plus CSS reset plus desktop layouts. You don't need to reset CSS now. Complete desktop styling, then tablet, media query matching your second screenshots, mobile, replace placeholder images with the recommended royalty free. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, let's do that. Let's do it now. Leave all this. Okay. So please, when you are doing this, redo. They said building the HTML structure. Remember our rules. Never start with CSS first. Identify the structure. Looking at your design, the services section can be divided like this. Service section, graphic design, right column, UI UX, apps, bottom row, photograph. Notice something, there are actually 2 major columns. Yes, there are 2 major columns. Okay, I'm seeing 3. This one, this guy here, this guy, and then this guy. But if he says it's 2, as long as it works, that is fine. Instead of trying to grid everything immediately, we'll build the HTML to match what we see. Place this directly below your hero section. All right, whatever it does, we could just use it like that. All right, as we'll still try to fine tune it. We'll try to fine tune it and dependent, but let's see how it goes. So we come directly below section and paste. All right, directly below sections and paste, and all right. So we have this guy, services. We now have left column graphics. Left column has graphics card, graphic design. All right, and the right column and all this other good stuff. Okay, so let's go back, and for writing CSS, let's sketch what we built. Services, left column, right column, top row. All right, photography. Como. Can you see there's a problem here? It's seen that it is seen that for our right column, it is mashing up. It is seeing these two guys as anything in our right column, and then bottom row. It's not in photography, illustrations, and motion design as our bottom row. Photography is here. So we can actually go back and tell it that no, that's not how it is. We can tell you that it is three columns. All right, it is 3 columns. This column, this column, this column. All right, and I'm just going to pause this video so that me and ChatGPT will talk first, then I'll continue it, and then I'll explain what we've done. But basically, what it's saying is that it's only seeing 2 columns, but there's actually 3 here: 1, 2, and 3. All right. So I'm just going to pause this now. So yeah, we are back. So basically, I've told you that before we do that, it should be 3 columns. First column is the graphic design. Now, the thing is that grids are divided in columns and rows. Okay, so column, this is column. All right, column, then rows and rows. And you might not be able to see it yet, all right, because you've not properly learned grids, because you refuse to learn grid. Not that you know properly, you refuse to learn it. We have this guy here, and it's taking up. If you look well, this is row 1 and row 2. This guy here is taking up 1 column and 1 whole row, and the 2 rows. All right, then this second column is taking up, this first row is taking up UI UX apps, or apps UI UX is taking up this first row, and then this second row is having illustrations. Then for the third column, all right, there's photography that's taking up first row, and then there's motion graphics. So, and I told you that I believe it's 3 columns, first column being blah 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 blah, and we get to motion graphics. And then I said excellent observation. This is exactly how front-end developers should think, analyzing the layout before writing codes. So that is why I keep advocating that you should know exactly what you're doing. If not, ChatGPT will warn you. Most AI models will warn you. All right. Another thing, they always tend to agree, and you can actually make it not to do that. There is a prompt for it, but for now, it is not really going to serve our purpose. So it has restructured the layouts, right? It's now looking more like what we have here. Graphic design, all right, so graphic design, then UI UX. Where is he getting apps again? Okay, we still have to tell you that UI UX and apps are on the same row. Let me see. I'm going to tell you that for column 2, let me see, she did not generate any more code. For column 2, UI/UX and apps are on the same row. And basically, there's a flex box between them. All right, there's a flex box between them. So they're on the same row. They're on the same row 1, and there is a flex between them. All right. Then illustrations is now in row 2. So the only disadvantage with this is that it is going to burn your tokens. All right, there's something called tokens. We're just going to, it means that the more we are doing this, the quicker it's going to tell me that I've reached my limits. But that's still fine. Wherever it gets to stop there, the thing is that you've, at least I believe that you would have learned 1 or 2 things from this little thing you've done. And these ones are quite simple to do now. We've done similar things like this in class, so I don't really think I should. I just wanted to show this. Maybe if I still have tokens, I'll still show this, but if not, I would stop wherever my tokens stop. Alright, so it says you're absolutely right looking at the desktop screenshot carefully. So the 2 times that I looked at it, you not look at it carefully. Like this, see this thing. They say you're absolutely right looking at the desktop screenshot carefully. I made sure the second column earlier. Let's analyze it the way front-end developers should. Ignore the colors and this thing. So it says graphic design. Then finally it has gotten it. UI, UX, apps, illustrations, photography, and emotion design. Okay, yes, that's exactly what we have. All right. So you see, sometimes it can make mistake. So it is in your place to correct that mistake. And even when they're still making another mistake, the 3rd column is putting these 2 guys at this as the same as one code as one row, that they're inside one row. Well, anyway. Then it says 1 wider card. Then so column 2 is really blah 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 blah. Then column 3, this column has okay. Now it has gotten it. So I will not tell it yes. That is the layout. And I'll tell it now regenerates the code. Alright, you see, perfect. This structure is much cleaner for beginners, and it's exactly how I'll teach it in class. So why you not teach it like that before? Okay, so replace the previous HTML with this. So we're going to copy what is inside there and paste it. So I'm just going to undo what I've done before. I'm going to undo it and then paste this new one. Okay, because I knew that whatever it was, I don't know what it was planning to do, but I knew that code should not reach 300 and something, 300 and something line scale. All right, so you build a skeleton, no colors yet. And okay, so for our CSS, it says okay, let's build the skeleton yet. So for services, so which one is services now? This is our services. So our services is this section that's holding all our grid elements. That's what services is. Okay, so we copy our services and we debug. So CSS after our hero. After our hero, we cannot paste it here. All right, and I'm going to make some indent. I'm going to indent it to tell ourselves that this is services. Okay. All right. So that is services, and now this particular code now, this particular code now, it's we can see that there's margin top. All right, so there's some margin on the top. Then it has display flex. Is this not supposed to be a grid? What is wrong? What is wrong with ChatGPT? Anyway, let's see where this is going to lead. Let's see where this is going to lead us. Listen, what is this guy doing? Okay, no problem. Let's just follow his lead first. Then if it's not what we are looking for, we'll go and change up things. So we've copied this guy and it says give every column equal width. Okay, now I've not exactly taught this, but basically if you say flex 1, okay, it means that all the elements inside the flex box would have equal width. Okay, you can now decide to change their heights, but they're basically they're going to occupy the same amount of space. That's basically what it does. And you've already seen this selector before, right? This means that you're going to give one style to everything that you have written here. All right, so we've done this in class. I'll copy this, come here, paste it. I'll copy this, come here, paste it. All right, so sorry, I had to receive a call. Okay, so let's get back to what we are doing. So flex means that all of them are going to take the same size. All right, they're going to all have the same size. So I'll put that here, and you see now the page looks like this. So I'm going to save and actually go and preview and see whether it's true. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Okay, it's making sense. It's making sense. All right, it's making sense. All right, it's making sense. And then we'll go back to our ChatGPT and say make column 2 vertical. Remember, column 2 contains blah blah blah. So dot column 2. So we're just going to add flex direction column gap. So I think he wants to use flexbox to do this. He does not want to use grid, which is still fine by me. I don't really care, as long as he gets what we are looking for. Whether I use grid or use flex, so anyhow he wants to do it, as long as at the end of the day we have what we are looking for. So we save, we go back and we preview. Yes, it has added that space. Okay. And then say make UI UX and app sit beside each other. So you copy column 2 top, you come and paste it, save. Okay, he wants to use, but this would have been easier with grid, but since he wants to use flex, no voila. You say each card should occupy half. Okay, I copy, I come here, I paste, I save, I go back, I refresh. Okay. All right. Now it says make column 3 vertical. So you come here, copy column 3. Save. Go back. Refresh. All right. So you see, you absolutely have to know exactly what you're doing. If not, you go to cry. We save, we go back, what did it do? Heights, added heights. All right. The whole height of column. The graphics the graphic design card occupies almost the whole height of column 2 and 3. For now, we'll simply give it a height. Okay, so that means we'll change it later. It says photography. When we do our grid class, I'll show you how to do this in grid so that it's way more easy to do this with grid than this thing that we are doing here. But at the end of the day, the client will not care. And as long as you understand how your code is working, you too might not also care very much. So that as long as you know that if something breaks, you can fix it. That is fine. So what we're actually doing is we are just giving heights. As you can see, we're just giving heights to all those boxes. Okay, we're just giving height to all those boxes. So graphics design, that's the guy that has graphic design. All right, the guy that has graphics, this guy is taking 6 up, but that thing is too big. But anyway, we can only shorten it. All right, let's just make sure that it has gotten the layout. Then we can now go in and do our own thing. All right. So all these guys, illustration, you already know this motion. So there are all of these boxes here. So you can see illustration, motion graphics, photography. All right, they are just those boxes. So don't let it confuse you. All right, and then I've added motion, illustration, UI UX, apps. Apps, and now let's make every card look the same structurally. So we now say card border radius, padding, overflow, hidden. Now what does overflow do? If overflow is that if something leaves our design, it should not show. Like that thing that left, that part that left should just leave. It should not come back. Like we should not see it. Okay, so that's just what it does. So we can come and copy this guy and paste him too. Okay, yeah, it's looking okay, it's looking nice. At least conceptually, it's at least looking nice. But even though that's anyway, we'll still make changes. We'll try to get it to look as close as possible as what we have here. Okay. Now notice that we haven't added color here. This is such as professionals. We make sure the layout is correct before worrying about appearances. At this stage, your page should already resemble the overall structure with 3 columns arranged exactly as you analyze. In the next lesson, we would style each card the correct background. So maybe here we can come here and tell you that now looking at this, the overall height of this thing should not even be more than it shouldn't even be more than about 500 pixels. And let's test it out. Let's come here and I'm just going to come below everything. I'm going to create a div and give it box 2. I'm just going to come here and style box 2 and give it a height of 500 pixels, width of let's make this 100% already, or 80%. The background color of red. You see, if we go back, we go back and we come to our this thing and we refresh. I did not save all. Okay. Let's see that even 500 pixels is too big for what we have here. So we try 400. Yes, what we have is around 400. Let's see that. That's what we have here, 400. So we're just going to tell you that the overall height should not be more than 400. All this and the way you go, they do now. Nice, Abi. And this is also another form of prompting. It's called something. It's called reiterative. So yeah, like people are going back and forth. It's just like when you hire a junior, when you hire somebody that is not very good, especially people that are graphic design know what graphic designers know what I'm talking about. You hire a graphic designer that is just beginning, and then the graphic designer sends you the work. You be like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this. Do this. You make corrections, send it again, be like, no, I don't like this, I don't like this. And funny thing is that if you are a graphic designer, you think that they're punishing you. But it's when you're not at the client side that you understand why they do what they do. So sometimes you will not really blame clients. Okay. So imagine now that you are the actual developer, you don't do anything, they can't tell you see the actual the overall height should not be more than 400 pixels. It will vex you, but already AI cannot really be vexed. So you can just come here and tell it that the overall height of the layout should not be more than 400 pixels. And then we send. Tool. He says good catch. Looking at the reference again, you're right. Oh god. Okay, so step one, set the overall section height. So we can now come here and it's just for services, right? So collect this height from here, go back, go to services. Alright, so you locate services. And this is what I always advise to build things in sections, because imagine that we've finished we told you to do the entire thing, maybe you copy pasted or screenshotted pasted, and then it now does this thing like this. Then you now have to now go in and start changing. You will die, you kill yourself. So it's better that you do things step by step, because now we can easily come here and adjust. Right, so you can see that we can easily copy code here and easily come back and adjust and change this one to 25, because the code is so small. If this was very big now, it should be problem. So now you can see that already it has become smaller. All right, so these other small things that I made, we can do those ones ourselves. We can change the height ourselves and stuff like that. So but the major thing, okay, let's continue. Since the graphic actually the entire first column, so it says graphic design 100%. All right, so we go back, look for graphic design. Yeah, this was what I was expecting it to do. Although it's 640, it was stopping. Now column 2, so UI UX plus apps should be 160. All right, gap is, but the problem now with this kind of specific styling is that it means that for when we get to tablets, we would have to specifically go in, manually change everything again. When we get to mobile, we still have to go back and specifically change it again. I was expecting it might have used maybe REM or EM, but since he's using this, I don't really know they do and share, so I don't have any problem. So it says so UI UX plus apps should, where is UI UX plus apps? Instead of flex one is now going to have height of 160 and then gap of 20 pixels. So you're going to come here and I'm going to just comment this. I will not delete it, I'll comment it. And we're now going to say height of, then we're going to say gap of 20 pixels. Okay, then we come down to illustrations, copy. We'll look for illustration. Where's the illustration? All right, so this is illustrations. So we paste height. Okay, and then so our column 2, Just copy everything. Don't bother yourself too much. Just copy everything inside there. Go back to your column 2. Yeah, let's go back to your column 2. Comment these guys just so that in case something goes wrong, we'll still have somewhere to fall back to. Okay, and then paste these new guys. Go to column 2 top, copy, comments, paste. Okay, go to UI UX comma app. Wait to hold on. Okay, now I see. So this wasn't supposed to be pasted here. So it was supposed to be pasted in UI UX and apps. Okay. So let me go up and look at that thing again. This is UI UX. Oh, so these are the actual codes. So I've made a mistake, but that's fine. All right, that's still fine. I made a mistake, but it's correctable. So instead of the only thing that was a mistake was this UI UX that I pasted there, but I've already removed it. Okay, I already removed it. This thing that I pasted there. All right, but I already removed it. You can see that right here is still flex 1, right? Then illustration is still flex 1. So we go to illustration and check. Instead of this, we now have flex 1. Flex 1. Okay. And then for column 3, just copy the things here. Paste it inside there. Then photography, we copy. We come back, we look for photography. Where's photography? Photography. And then we also paste. And then for motion, we have flex 1. Alright. They will now see okay. So let's see. So let's save everything. Come back here. It's still not very good. Alright, it's still not very good. Well, let's add colors first. Then we'll now see how good it is. Alright. Alright. Let's go to the next step. So let's install the cards. So looking at design, every card have a few things in common: rounded corners, padding, and illustration, and the heading, plenty of empty space. Let's create that common style first. All right. So I'll come here and copy everything inside style. Inside card, I'll come to styles. I'll look for card. I'll look for card and I'll replace it with this. I'll save. I'll go back. And now you can see that our image is in the wrong place. But that's still fine. Our images is in the wrong place. But that's still okay. Okay, that's still fine. So we'll come back to our web. We'll come back here and then we want the heading near the top, we want the image near the bottom. Flexbox can do that. Alright, so it says wait, let's read this now. So it says start the card, then let's have print of common. Then inside card we have this. And they say, why did you use Flexbox here? Let's inspect one card, graphics illustration. There are only two children, card H3 image. We want the heading near the top. But from what we give to the heading is actually at the bottom. Alright, so we want the image near the bottom. Flexbox can do that, which gives us without adding random margins. So what we can do is let's finish up with this style. They will not tell it. There's a simple way to invert the symbol. I want to see whether it will tell me to use that particular method, or it would want us to do the long method. Alright, so we start adding color. You say let's match the color from the reference. So for graphic design, we have this. We copy, we go back. For graphic design, we paste there. UI UX, we copy. Now I can assure you that this thing will not come out well. It will not come out the way we are hoping it to come out. Alright, but that is still fine because that is why you know how to code by hand. So you go in there and in fact, anyway, till I'm done first. So we have apps, and then we have photography. Photography, we have illustrations, and then again, please, anything you do not if there's ever anytime ChatGPT gives you code that you don't understand, you can always ask it, what is this thing doing? Alright, that is the way you learn. That is the way you learn. You ask, what is this thing doing? Alright, so I'm guessing we are done. Now let's see first and see if that is the case. But he tried. He tried now, he tried. So you can just go and add these extra colors. Okay, you can just go and add all these extra colors. But let me see, did you not give us your UX? What happened? Give us your UX now. What now happened? It's giving. Wait, let me be sure that my eye is not deceiving me. Hold on. Can you imagine? Okay, so what we can do is we can just come and look for this color, or just to find the color that matches the same closest. Okay, so you can come here and it's more of an orange color. Alright, so it's more of an orange, a light orange color. Let's put that to red. Yes, so you now put something like this. Alright, so we save and we go back and we check. Yeah, it looks like it, but it does. Then we do for illustration. It's, I don't know what color this is, but it's close to this color. It's close to this color here. So you can come and where's that color? Apps bar. You can come and did you give us apps? Even apps is not even the right color, sir. Huh? What is wrong with this thing? apps is closer to purple. Motion graphic is another color. What is going on now? All right. So we are still going to change it ourselves. So we look for something that's close to purple for apps. Where's apps? Apps. So we look for something that's close to purple. Now I wonder if this color. There's another guy that has this. We see this for illustration. This is for illustrations. So we can come here and copy this guy. But we're going to, or let's just copy him. We're going to go to illustrations and replace him with this. All right. And then for apps is now closer to purple. Okay. Apps is closer to purple. So we look for purple. And where's purple? Where's purple is around there. Come back here and we make sure it's in a deep purple. It's a very deep purple. All right, it's a deep purple. It's very deep purple. Anyway, it does not have to be perfect. So we say if we go back to that's for apps. I'm looking for motion graphics. So okay, so what I can do is I can copy this guy. All right, and I'm going to so motion graphics. Okay, motion graphics, and then we now look for this color. So it's closer to pink. So we go to apps, look for something that's close to pink, as close to pink as we can get. Where is pink? Where is pink? Where is pink? Bob, where is pink? Is this pink? I have no idea. All right. All right. So we say if we go back and yes, we are cooking. Somebody say we are cooking. We are cooking. All right. So this is why you need to know how to do things yourself. Okay. So now the next thing is that we have to tell AI that it's actually the opposite way. Okay, let's finish. You said card titles. Every card title is bold. All right, so you say card H3 bar. I'm just going to copy all this thing, but I don't think you have card H3. But let's check. Do you have card? You see, you don't have card H3. All right, you do not have card H3. So we copy this, we paste it here. All right, we save, we go back, and some cards have white text. No, all of them have white text. All of them have white text. You can see that all of them have white text, but so we can just come and just collect this because see what it's doing, it's only doing it for we are going to get, remember, everything here is white. I got the text are white, right? So let's first of all get that white text. Okay, let's get the white text first. So we can just come here. You can see this guy named color of white, right? And you can come back here, and since it's for all the H3, you can just paste it here. All right. That's where you are in charge of what's happening. You are the one controlling what AI is doing. All right, so you're the one controlling what it's doing. Sometimes it's going to make mistake. It is you now that's now going to correct. Yeah, the blood of Jesus. Wait, we we had those things there. Okay, okay, yeah, they were there. Well, we need to also reduce their sizes, right? And yeah, we should also reduce their sizes. All right, so instead of this, we can bring it down to like 20. Okay, we're going to bring it down 7 now. It's still very big, so let's make it 18. Oh, all right, so it's looking nice now, bro. All right, so we can now go now and tell you that okay, since everything else you see, you can make mistakes. All right, you can see saying everything else is black, but that's not true. Right? So now beside image styling, don't worry about positioning yet. Let's simply make every illustration responsive. Okay, so we now would it says need something we didn't write because that prevents the image from shrinking. You know what? Like we can just copy this, copy, come here, come here, paste, save, and now it's now at the center. Anyway, the thing is let's okay, say let's not bother about positioning yet. So we're not bother about positioning yet. Let's just make it center first. And notice we didn't write this because that prevents the image from shrinking. Instead, this max width means we want to reach 170 px, but if the card becomes smaller, shrink with it. It's much better for responsive layout. The page should now look like this, which yes, it does look like that. Right? Um, Not perfect yet because the illustrations are all centered. Next lesson, the fun part. Now we make it look almost like blah 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 blah. We use only the concepts we glance. Okay, we can also tell you that we know um, we do know CSS positioning. So that is that absolute, relative, fixed, sticky, and the other one I keep forgetting. So we can tell that we do know CSS position. Okay. Or we can also let's stop this. Let's stop this from happening. That I will write it again. Okay, it has already finished generating the code. Yes, let's use that one. Then we'll now tell it. Okay, let me first of all tell you that the images are actually on top while the text is beneath. Let's tell it the images are actually on top while the text are the ones below. And as you can see, yes, ChatGPT does things like this. So you have to be very careful. All right. Okay, so let's continue. It says step one, this, it now says it changes instead of this. All right, we should now have the opposite. Okay, we have the opposite. So we will do that for every card. This card becomes image heading. Okay, okay, so let's go and do that first. Let's go and reverse things. So yeah, that's the life of a programmer. You know, sometimes stuff like this happens. So we start from services from the very beginning, and then we start flipping things. And also flip this. And we also flip this. And we also flip this. And we also flip this. All right. And we also flip this. Okay. Now we can save, go back. Let's say I lose like first. Okay. So it has flipped. Then we can go back to what identity was now saying. We say we do this for every card. Now step 2, each card becomes this. Now flex box becomes even easier. Card display flex direction column. So we go back to card and confirm that it is flex direction column. Yes, so it's what's the same thing, right? Flex direction column. Now the image occupies most of the card. So we go to image card and we just copy this. We go back to image card. And there's card image, there's image card. Okay. So instead of we now have width of width of 85%. Of 85%. Align self center. Alright. Then step 4, this is where flexboard shines. So for our card text 3, we now say margin top auto, font size. So all we are copying is this margin top auto. Margin top auto. So what are we copying is again? Card H3. So I can come here, paste it, and say margin top auto. Come back here. Okay. Margin top auto, and you now says what does margin top auto do? Imagine the card looks like this. The browser puts all the remaining empty space above the heading, pushing it to the bottom. So we don't have to guess with margins like this, which would only work for one card size. Okay. So now says so the illustration will be slightly off center. That's where positioning comes in. So for graphic design, you're going to have a position of relative. Okay. The graphic design is going to have the position of relative. And then we now have another thing here now called graphic design image. All right. And now copy from here, paste, save, go back and refresh. All right. So this is where our image is now going to stay. Okay. Now, because the image is taken out of the normal document for the heading will jump upward. To fix that, we will simply give the card some top padding equal to the image space. Okay, let's do that. We save, we go back, we refresh, and nothing is happening yet. So please do make sure that you read all these things. All right. The now says it has a better idea. Okay. The difference, I don't think we should make the image as in every card. I'll use a hybrid approach. Most cards use flexbox, selection column with the image first and margin. When the card illustration overlaps the edge, like graphic design and photography, use the. But I mean, all of them, they are. So for this particular one, I might just have to go in myself and fix it. All right. We might just have to go because yes, it's actually not very good with stuff like this. All right. But that's so fine. With just AI, we were able to get this. All right. Not the best, but it could also have been way worse. It could also have been way worse. All right. So I might just have to go in and actually fix this later. Okay. Now I cannot tell it. What's the next step? Can I add in images? Can I set the question? Adding images. How to say, yeah, it says that we build, analyze somewhere, this kind of thing. Build the HTML, we did this, build the layout, we did this. Before add the colors, we started this, we've done this, add the illustration. This is where I'll stop teaching CSS for a moment. Instead, I'll explain asset management. Clients often think I have an image tag. Where do I get the image? This is a good opportunity to see that. For this project, we create an images folder. Yes. So this is now in ChatGPT. Whenever you see this forward slash, it means that it's creating an image. Or when you're coding and you see the forward slash, all right, it means that it's creating an image and a folder rather. Remember when I taught you how to enter into a folder, right? We'll do something like dot images, dot slash images. All right, and then I enter into images. So that's what he's doing here. That's what he's doing right here. Okay. Okay. So now every image is simply this. Now it says the image, don't position them yet. First, make sure they're all the correct size. So where do I get the images from now? All right. Before continuing using I would like us to spend 5 to 10 minutes using all 6 illustration first. Once we have them in the images folder, we can resize and position them correctly in one pass. That will make the final result much closer to reference than using placeholders and guessing the image proportion. All right. So let me assume that I am you. I am the person that does not know what to do. So I'm going to say, all right, how do I download the images? Oh, how do I download the images? And it's going to tell you. You want to say, perfect, we use OnDraw because it's one of the best sources for web development projects. So visit OnDraw. So we can go to OnDraw. Let me just copy this link, open up a new this thing, paste it there, and then search. And see we have beautiful illustrations here. Beautiful illustrations. All right. So you can now see use the search bar and download one illustration for each service. We're going to download for designer. But really what we have here, all right, if you look, these are just abstract stuff, right? Abstract stuff. So you can go this route. You can just come here instead of searching for those things. Or we could actually, let's make it a bit more creative. Okay, let's go with this idea and search for designer, creativity, art. Okay, so let's come here, search for, let's search and say design, designer. So we have designer and we have something like, let's go with something, or this one. Let's go with this one. So we can download SVG. Now SVG means scalar vector graphics. Okay, scalar, let me type it here so you see it. Scalar vector graphics. So I would advise you go and look at what it means. All right, there's a reason why we love using, okay, Yeah, brought up the listen. But anyway, just go and research about it. I don't want to tell you what it means. Go and research it yourself. Okay? So have you downloaded it? Okay, you've downloaded it, but all right. Now next, we are going to come back to this and download for. Let's go for UI. Let's search for UI. All right. So let's look for something else. Let's look for wireframe. So you can use actually what a wireframe looks like in when you are designing real. That's what a wireframe looks like. If you are to use a wireframe in real life, all right. The next one we have apps. So I'm just going to search for app. There is nothing to think. There's no much. There's no much thinking there. App. This looks good. And then we are going to have photography. Maybe we use this. And then research for draw sketch. Let's look for sketch. And then research uh, motion. Let's search for motion. Let's use this. Alright, and then we can now come back here. It says download as SVG. When you find an illustration, download sort of PNG. SVGs are better because they whatever. They say create an image folder. So we're going to follow step by step. And from here, we're going to create an image folder. Please close this guy. Alright. We're going to call it images. Alright. And then I've told you before, there are two ways to add that stuff. You can just come here. Alright. Okay, let me come here. And then you go to your downloads. Alright. And you can either copy all this thing. You copy. Alright. You go back to your down. You go back to where you have this our assessment. You come to these images and paste it here. Alright. Let me just show you. Paste it here. See, I remember. Then if you come here and you go to images, they are all there. Alright. Or you can still, as we've copied it, you can also come to these images, make sure you're in this images folder, and then paste it. To ask us, do you want to paste? You say yes, paste, and it's going to paste them all here. So anyone that is better for you, you just use that one. Okay. Okay. So we can come back to our AI, and it's going to say rename the files instead of files like this, rename to something, rename them to something meaningful. Graphic design SVG, UI UX .svg, app .svg, photography .svg, illustration .svg, all right, and then we now reference them. So you can choose to do this, or you can just reference the image directly. All right, let's see which one is this one. So this one is application, so we can rename it to application.svg. This one is on draw wireframe. So that is UI UX. That's the UI UX bar. You can see UI.svg. And then we now go to this one. So this was our graphic design bar. Yes. So rename this to graphic design. Alright, that's SVG. Then this This was sketch, which one was sketch against it? Let's see. Which one has illustrations? Yes, illustrations. Illustrations. It doesn't mean illustrations.svg. And then of course this one is motion bar. So you can come here, rename it to motion, and then photography. All right. Now we can now reference them. Okay, we can just add them to our stuff. So for this one, we have graphic design. So that's graphic design dots. And that's already what that's actually what I named it, right? Images slash. So it enter this images folder. And then graphic design dot svg. So if I should save this right now, come back here and refresh, you can see that it's back, is here. Right? And the ones that are named properly, they're already showing. Right? The names that the ones that were named properly are already showing. Okay. Now the remaining ones, oh, sorry. You can come here UI UX, and I think I named it only UI, but that's why it's not showing. UI UX, and then you now have apps, which was what I saved it. Okay, I saved that application. Application. Alright, and I think that is this one. Card illustrations. Illustrations. That's okay. So they're all there. They are all there. Okay. So I'm guessing we are. So that is how we do that. That's how we do that. So see how it's looking back. That's looking at me. I'm really all using AI. All we just have to do was to understand one or two things about what we are doing, and it did the heavy lifting for us, isn't it? All right, so you say reference them and blah 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 blah. So later on, you can come in here and edit it the way you like. Okay, you can come in here and edit it the way you like. Now, every other one you've handled every other thing in class before. This was just the only one you've not handled before. That's why I wanted to do it myself. But every other thing here, you have handled it in class. So you should be able to finish up this thing. Okay, you should be able to finish. But let me see if I can also do this one, and then let me see if I can complete it. Let me see if I can complete it, and then I'll know that I'm done with it, and you all can do whatever you want. So you can now come and tell you that the next session, all right, I'll tell you cool. Now, you can see that the text there has disappeared. It's still there, but it has disappeared for now because we said that the overflow should be hidden. Alright, so if anything is overflow, it should be hidden. So it is inside this particular box. So you can come in, just edit just this one to make it smaller and make it fine and all those things. That's all fine. That's all good and fine. Alright. So you can see that yeah, it's not totally as like it's not exactly what is here, but it is very close. Alright, it's very close. Okay. So yeah, the next section has, okay, let's see how is it responsive. I never even checked if it was responsive. And no, it's not responsive. So let's make it responsive. So cool, let's make it responsive using. So sometimes because this text is long, all right, it's not going to remember what we told it. You know, it's not going to remember because our text is long. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, but we are almost through. We're actually almost through. The hard stuff, we are done with it. All right, the thing that for me is the hard thing, we are done with it. So it's not going to remember what we told it that it should use as its responsiveness. So we have to go back sometimes and reference that same thing. You see this far? All right. I just actually feel like this was the hardest to do because you see how long it took us, right? See how long it took us. It was after hero section. So you can come here and do this and now say, okay, let's copy what's there. Come here. So let's make it uh, responsive using what was typed here. All right. All right. So this matches the reference we described. So we can just come here and copy all these guys. Copy everything that is here. Don't overthink them. Just copy. Copy. Come back here. Go to your come down here. Right after your hero section, and I'm just going to come here and type services so we know that this is what it is for. Okay, and I'm going to comment it, and then I'll paste. Same thing for mobile. I'm just going to copy again, copy, come back here for mobile, and also add services. What are services? So I'm going to save and go back and come back here and then refresh. Now if we and it's not working. All right, so these are part of those ones where you have to go in yourself and fix. Okay, now for tablets, I guess it's fine. So for tablet, I think, oh gosh. Yeah, anyway, that's so fine. It's one of those things where you have to go in yourself and fix. Okay, some of them are just like that. You can imagine, but it's already leaving our page. So you can go in later and fix it. I don't have the strength to fix it. All right, but you can go in and go and fix it. All right, later on you can go and fix it. So anyway, I'll just oh, I'm not. Oh, okay. Oh, oh. Oh, so I save again. Let's try that one more time. As you can see, plenty things are scattered, plenty things are spoiled. So you can go in there and fix them later. All right, you can go in there and fix them later. As you can see, the tablet is not looking nice at all. tablet is not looking nice at all. So we have to go in and fix tablet mode. But at least mobile, the only problem mobile is just the illustrations. So you can go in there, reduce the size of the illustration, reduce the size of this one, and it should look like what this guy has. Okay, it should look like this in mobile. Alright. So it happens. It happens. So just go in there, fix it. There's nothing much there. So let's work on this one. This one is very easy. Same with this one. Same with this one. Same with this one. So let's see if we can just finish it. What to ChatGPT and I tell you that alright. The next section would have a container that is holding. This guy is talking about 30%. Alright. No, this guy is talking about 40% or 35%. Then you get thinking about 45%. Then you get thinking about 40%. Alright. So that would be 75%. Okay, so you get thinking about 30%, you get thinking about 35%, you get thinking about let's say 45%. Alright. Let's just try to have a container that is holding two things. An image that is inside a circle whose background has abstract illustrations as background, abstract illustrations, and the circle is taking up about 35% of the container, and then the next element is a box which would take about 40% or 45%, maybe 45% of the container, and what does it have? It has a text that says, "I'm David and I'd love to work on the next project." That have a H1 which says, "I'm David and I'd love to work on your next project." Alright, I'm doing another work on I'd love to work on the next project. And then we now have a P that has, "I love working with others to create beautiful design solutions. I've designed everything from from brand illustrations to complete mobile apps. I'm also handling the camera." Alright, so you're going to see and then there would be a P that says, within that P talk again, so I love working with others to create beautiful designs. Alright, I love working with others to create beautiful designs. Beautiful design solutions. I've designed beautiful design solutions. I've designed everything from web pages to to brand illustrations, and I'm also handy with a camera. All right, and then after it comes a button that has a border radius and then has free consultation inside. All right, and after it's still in the same box, would have a button that says free consultation, and the button should have a border radius and this color is the same color that illustrations have, and have the same color as the box illustration. However, we'll put that one ourselves first, we change the color. Perfect. Before I say go, let's analyze just to the thing. All right, so let's just copy this. Copy all these guys. All right. Copy. Come back to here. All right. After this whole stuff, after this other section, you paste it, and it says, you can see this is about. You gave it a class of about. All right, which is also correct. Is about us, Abi. It says about image, then image circle. All right, so this is about. About is the actual box, the container, and then after you now have the left side, there's going to be the circle. All right, this is about image. Okay, this is about image, so it's actually a box. Then inside that box, we now have a circle. So that circle we now have an image. So inside the full container called about, we have the box that's going to hold our circle. Inside our circle, we now have an image. Okay, and then inside there, we now have class about contents and blah 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 blah, free consultation, and that is it, right? So we save, and then we go and get our CSS. So we start with this guy, copy, paste it, and I can come here and say, about. Okay, then after this we would have, after this we'll now do for our left side. So just copy everything as seen. Okay, then you do make sure that it makes sense to you. As you can see, our about, that's a container, has a margin top so that it will have space between, so that there'll be space between what is here and itself. All right, so it's going to have that, and then it's now going to have display of flex, space between, to put space between those two elements, the circle and the text. Then align item center so that they will be at the center. All right. Then about images, width of the 35% flex. It has a flex to spare content center, and you can get the right side. All right, so you get the right side. Yes, and that was exactly why I said 45% and 35%, so that we'll have space between them. And so now says build a circle. All right, so image circle. All right, image circle. So we copy this guy, paste him here. It has background. He has height, width, border radius 50%. Now this is how you make a circle. Okay, once you say border radius 50, you have to make a box, so something that has equal width and equal height, and they say border radius. That's how you make a circle. And then background, he has a background color for now. We'll change the letter and add our picture. Okay, change the letter and add our picture. And then it has a position of relative and overflow hidden. It's going to, if anything flows out of it, it's going to hide it. That's what this overflow hidden does. Okay. And then position image. So you also copy this. Now we don't have our image yet, so I'm going to go download an image, but let's just get the layout first. And then we have about content. So we copy this guy too. Come here, paste him. For the paragraph, copy, paste. And button, copy, paste. All right, so let's okay, let's first of all test how it's looking like in now it's like this because we don't have an image yet. All right, so let's go make, although my circle should have actually, so that means, hold on, we have the image circle here. The image circle should work. So let's start from the beginning. It says margin top. This is clearly not working. Flex space between center, right? And then we now have an about image. So let me split my screen. We now have an about image. Okay, so where's our about image? This is our about image. Alright, this is our about image. Okay, so I can come here. Oh, okay, I get now, because it's only height. So if we come here and we see border, now what? This is your, hold on. This is your about image. See about image here, right? Now about image is the container that is holding our circle. All right, so let's see what is actually in that container. We're going to say red solid 1 pixel. Now I've told you before, when you're working with border, any direction, anyhow you want to put this, you can put it and it will still work. So we refresh and you see that nothing is showing. Of course, there is no height. All right, but if I come here and I now add a height of let's say 100 pixels. What's the problem now? Hold on, let me check for something. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. So damn. I'm actually in the wrong place. Let me copy all these guys. I was placing things in the wrong place. I was wondering why it was not working. All right, so we're supposed to paste it inside our desktop, not tablets. So that was the problem. But I wonder why it was not working. I've already gone to debug where there's no bug. So this is why you should know how to code. I keep making reference to that. You should know how to code. If not, it's sometimes you want yourself, sometimes AI will want you. Now you see that? Does it not look like this? Although the text has to be a bit, the H1 them has to be a bit smaller, and also the P. All right, so we can just go in and do that. It's not that hard. We find our H2 and make the font size 1.8 and see what it looks like. Yeah, makes sense. All right, then this one we can make it to be 0.9 or 0.8. We can make this to be 0.8. Save. Oh, sorry. I changed the wrong thing. So I say if I go back and okay, it's too small now. So you can go and change it. Let's make it 1.0. Okay, I think that's looking okay. All right, so we have that. And now see, remember, yeah? A background image is meant to be here. So if we come to about content or image circle, right? Image circle, image. Okay, this for the image. Now this is the image circle. Now we're supposed to have an image here. As you can see, we're supposed to have an image at this background, right? Let's have an image, not a background color, but an actual image. So we can go to let's use pesos. Okay, let's use pesos, and you can now download. You can just come here and type for a let's say beautiful. Let's say abstract illustration. All right, and we have all these guys. We have all these things. Okay, so abstract. Oh, nothing is there. Let me use this one now, since although there's no yellow here, but let's hope it does not like scatter what we are doing. I don't think it will, but let's see. I'm going to come here and I'm going to download this guy. Okay, I'm going to download it, and we have it now. So same thing as before. We come here. We go to downloads. All right, you can see him. You can then copy him. Come back to our this thing. Come back to images. Paste him inside there. Yes, I want to paste. All right, paste it inside there, and then we can now come back to. We now have to go and download our image, the image of the person, and this image you need to be a PNG, or in fact, okay, let's make it. So we are going to go to PNG wing. Let's see if they have good PNG for this, and we can see mail Real model. And let's select anyone. Let's select this. Let's select this guy, this fine boy. And then we can download him. Because why am I downloading the PNG image? I don't want any background in the image. Alright, I don't want any background at all in the image. So I'm going to click this. Oh, this is so terrible. So add U and N. Alright, and it is downloaded. So we do the same thing we did before. We come here. I think it's this one. Yes, it is him. So we come here, copy him, go to our images, paste him, and you can say do not ask me again. Please don't ask me again. And you can see here, they also have this image. So now what do we now do? We need that background to be in this image circle. Instead of having background color, we are going to be giving it a background image. Okay, we've done background image before. So background image, and we're going to use URL. Alright, and then inside there we can now go and go to our images. And then this bezels, that was the one that we used for our this. So if we save now and we go back to our where is it? Our header, and we refresh, it is big, right? So we can come and now see background size. We're going to use contain. We're going to check contain, see what contain looks like. Right? Now, if contain, you can also do cover. If you don't like contain, you can always do cover. Alright, you see, we go back. Yeah, I think I prefer cover. Alright, I think I prefer cover. Let's just use it. It's kind of spoiling the essential, but let's see if we can find another. There's no time. I'll use it like that. Then the next thing you want to do is want to add that our PNG here. So we're going to say images slash, then we're going to bring our PNG. Okay. So if you clear this and you now say slash, it's going to bring up. You go to pngwing.com, we save, we go back, we refresh, and bam. Okay, now clearly the images are not working together. The images are not working together, but what you can also do is you can come to our this image circle, right? Images. So you go to image circle, images, and you see that it's absolute bar, left 50, and all these other things it did there. So it says transform. It's not supposed to use transform. So you know what's going to happen. I'm going to comment this transform, and then I'm going to do what I've taught you so far. So you see where it is bar. So what I'm going to do now is instead of saying left 50%, okay, I'll leave transform. Now say saying you say left 50%, right? To move it to the left by 50. Now when I say translate X, now this translate is working with the horizontal axis. So if you say minus 50%, it means move it back by 50%. So it's going to, it's just like margin auto right, margin auto left. So it's going to magically put it at the center. Now we can now come here and just add a top, but I move it away from the top. Let's say 10% away from the top. Let's do 5. Let's do 5%. Okay. So the image and the background is not working together. We use it like that. Okay, they are not working together. Well, just use it like that. We don't have We don't really have what you can. What another thing we can do is we can make this in black so that it will kind of like match with this one here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come. I'll look for my button, right, and I'll change it to black. Okay, and I'll refresh, and yeah, it's looking better now. Alright, so this was this is this. So I told you that this is like the easiest. This apart from this particular one here, every other thing is very easy to recreate. So let's make it responsive. So for the responsive behavior, we come to 992. Copy, just copy. Don't think the thing. Don't think I'm too much. Just copy. Copy. Go to your 992. Make sure that you add. Make sure that you add that this is for your about. Okay, make sure they add that so that you know where you are. And then you paste. And then you come to mobile, just copy and paste. No thinking. Okay, please think it to look at your code, make sure that it's correct. Make sure that it's aligning to the things you want. Alright. Copy. But I already know that it's going to align. If it does not align, I know that I can always fix it. So you make sure that everything is aligning. Okay. What's we going to say about? Alright, so paste, save. So I'm going to refresh, and then yeah, it's working. It is working. So I told you, hey, the blood of Jesus. What is this? Okay, so this is definitely for tablets. It's tablet that is doing this thing. Okay, it's tablets. So we can go into tablets and see what is behaving that way. So we go to tablets, tablets. And then we now go to image circle, you see? Wait, so this is my tablet, Abi. Now you see that from about, you can see the image circle now. It's having. Wait, hold on. Let me see what happens if I come in this. Why is it doing this? Okay. All right. All right, no problem. I don't think it's even coming from there. We'll start off from the top. Let's make sure that everything first is okay. Let's make sure that everything is nice. So we'll come back to this image circle. It has a fixed height. Background says cover. Now, can you see this? Where is it? Is it she's about image? Is inside about image. Let's go to about image. Okay. Then about contents. Where is about contents? Is the right side. All right. You now go to image circle. Um, hmm. So, wait, hold on. Just hold on. Okay. I'll see what that one is in. This is the kind of place where you now count down and figure out where it is coming from. Because now this is one of the drawbacks of using AI, because it does everything. So whenever there's a mistake, it takes a little bit more time to fix. It takes a bit more time to fix because you are not doing it yourself. Because if I was doing it myself, I would have been testing every single step. But because I was not doing it myself, it's not looking okay. Alright, it's not looking okay. But take it as your project and try to fix it up. Alright, try to fix it up. There's nothing more there. But mobile is okay. So the problem is desktop, is tablets. Alright, the problem is actually tablet. That's where our problem is coming from. This tablet. This guy here. That's where our problem is coming from. That is where our problem is coming from. So let me see if I comment this. Alright. And also this other things there, they are taking up way too much space. So what we're going to do, let's make this 500. Let's actually see what is happening. So it means that the space being allocated to it is no longer enough. It's no longer enough. Alright. So what we're going to do is we are going to reduce the size. Alright, so we're going to try something like 200. 200. Alright, so let's try 250. Alright, 250. 250. Okay. So this is started from the desktop. So there's a code, there's probably a code that's doing this thing. And to find this will take time. Alright. To get what is doing this thing will take a bit of time. So I'm just going to leave it. You can go in, fiddling around and try to figure it out. And then we now have my work, and there's nothing much here. Alright, my work. So you can come to ChatGPT and now tell you that, okay, the next section, alright, the next section would have a H3. Okay, the next section would take up 100% of the container. Go to the container. For the elements inside it, it's going to have a text or a H3 that says my work. And then H3 that says my work, it would be centered. And then we have my work, and it should be centered. And then we have beneath it, um, we have beneath it, three boxes that will hold images. Three boxes that hold images. Beneath it, three boxes. Beneath it, three boxes that will hold images. I'll check for tablet mode. So for tablet mode, it's just going to get bigger. And then for mobile mode, it's just going to get so big that it is now only one image that we are seeing. All right. Images that would take up equal widths. The boxes would only get bigger. From desktop to tablet to mobile. So it says place this below the about section. So we copy and then just beneath this about section, this other one, we paste. I will now have my work. Okay, so I can equally come here and say my work. All right, and then inside there we now have my work, the text, and then these are now the div. Okay, and then for the CSS, we're going to copy this from here outside this max width of 992. Outside it, you can now have this is, what's this called again? Save my work. All right. I just have this, and then for the heading, we're just going to have this. Now we're going to build the gallery. So which element is the parent of the three cards? Okay, what gallery is what gallery? So there, that's where Flexbox goes. So inside work gallery, so we can just come here, copy this. I think we already have work gallery. Do we? Okay, we don't. So I'll come and copy everything here and paste it. And paste it here. And then equal width of card. So we copy and come here and paste. All right. So for the images, we want the image to completely fill the card, right? So we can come here, copy, and also paste. Okay. So tablets. I'll just come here, copy everything inside tablets. And then I'm going to paste it. Come here, paste it inside there and call it my work. And then I'll paste. Come here, copy. And come and say my work. All right, and then inside there, I now paste. Okay, and the next thing we actually need to find the images that we're going to put here. All right, we need to find the images. So just come and just go back to that this guy right here, and we're just going to come to this and just type creative. Let's see what it's going to bring. Or just more random stuff. We're just going to say creative. Exactly. So we can come download. All right. So maybe one time just come and rename it immediately. Okay. We're going to rename it to we're gonna name it creative one. Okay, and then we'll find something else. And say creative 2. Come back here. I don't know. Let's use this one. And now see creative 3. So we can just come here, copy this guy, and also copy this guy. Okay, and we can copy the 3 of them, go back to our images folder, paste them inside there. So you see creative 1, creative 2, creative 3. So we can now come here and now say creative 1.jpg, creative 2.jpg, and then we'll now have creative 3.jpg. So we save, we go back and yeah, so you have that, and hopefully responsiveness is going to respond. Is it responding? You can leave it like this. I thought it's going to get bigger, but we made it smaller. At this point, I don't even care. So we go to the next thing. All right, this is very easy to fix now. This is very, 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 very easy to fix. Okay, it's very, very, very easy to fix, but I don't want to fix it. So you can go and fix it yourself. So you can go and fix it yourself. All right, I want to round up with this. So we can come back here and we now have the last. You can add these buttons. This button is supposed to be that with JavaScript you should be able to scroll. Like you should be able to go to the next image with JavaScript, but we are not going to be using JavaScript, so this should just remain like that. Okay, and then we now have a book a call with me. All right, book a call with me. We explain what we have there, and if you notice, you can see that it is header. What was in header that is down here, so you can just copy header and come and paste here after this guy. Okay, so we say book a call with me. Let's see what it looks like in desktop. All right, then let's see what it looks like in, yeah. Okay, so book a call with me. So next we come back to our ChatGPT and tell it that next session is a container that is black in color, takes 100% of its container. Then inside the container we have, so the container we have what do we have now? We have two boxes. One is taking about 55%. All right, this should be 50%, and the 55%, and this one is taking like 40%. Okay, so you can take 55%, which have two boxes. First box is taking about 55%, while the second box is taking about, let's make it smaller self, or about 35%. All right, now we can now see that the first box has a h1 that says, now also notice that these guys, they have space between, I mean space around, they have space around. So you can come here and include it and tell that the house space, you have 55, while the second box is about 35%, and there is a space around. There's a space around between them. All right. Now the first box has a H1 that says what's it? Book me with call. So come here and say book me with call. All right. And then the P, and then the P that says, I would love to have a chat to see how I can help you. The best 5 steps is for us to discuss your problem. I would love for us to chat to see how I can help you. The best first step is for us to discuss our project. The best first step is for us to discuss about your projects. We're doing a free consultation, then we can move forward from there. Your project during a free consultation, then we can move on from there. All right, and then this second box now has this same free consultation. All right, then the second box has the same button, called the same button which has the text free consultation in it, and it should be centered vertically and horizontally. So it's going to be at the middle. That's just what we're talking about. It's going to be at the middle. And then I'm very tired, so I'm just going to say let it follow let's follow the responsive design pattern from earlier. So let it now decide, or we can even tell it to decide the best responsive pattern you should follow from earlier. So decide the best responsive pattern it should follow. All right. Blah blah blah. Shift. Are you feeling good? Okay. So we copy. We come and we copy, and then we paste. Oh, copy the wrong thing. So again, we copy, and then we come here and we paste. So it's this one here. So you can call it contact us or contact me. Okay, contact me, and that is that. And then you can now go to the CSS, just copy, bro, just copy. It comes to styles.css, scroll up, paste it's explaining because I told you that it's a student that's learning, so it's explaining for you. If you were to be the student doing this, it will be explaining all these ones for you. Which I know that I'm still going to go and so edit some things there, but for you, you need to read all these explanations. All right, you need to read every single explanation. Then for tablets, we can come just copy. Tablets come long go. I will copy and from here. And say contacts me, and then paste it here. All right, and then go and get a mobile. Mobile is also long. come and say contact me. Okay, so I save and I go back, then I refresh. Let's save all or did not save all. Alright, I refresh, and you see ChatGPT can be funny sometimes. You knows that the background is black, and you should give the text the color of black. There's actually text there. Watch. You see, there's text there. Well, you knows you go so carry black color go give am. So you just come up, 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 up. Alright. And then yes. And then we can just come to this guy that's called contacts. Alright, that's the div that they're all inside, but we can just say color of white. So you see, you don't have to panic. And right now, is not exactly getting what we want. So see, remember that this our free consultation. Oh, we give it the color of red. So what we can do is we can give it the color of black. But see, this thing is actually a div, right? This free consultation is actually a div. Let me find it. Where is it? Now this free consultation is a button, right? It's a button. Now watch what you now did there. I put consciously button here, but for some reason it's not working. So let me search for it. Let me search for button. Let's search for button. So I see what's going on. Okay, because I think I see what would have happened. It's placed whatever styling he gave it, he made sure that it was directly inside something. Maybe this contact. Why is this not searching now? Alright, now watch. If we come to our CSS, we're going to see. Alright, let's start from here. Let's start from here, and I'm going to like comment this. Let me be sure that it is I'm in the right place. So I'm going to come here, comment this. I don't say it should replace anything. I don't say it should replace anything. Don't show me this. Okay, it's in line 60. Since it wants to be stubborn. It's in line 60. Oh, line 60 is way up. So we get to line 60. And then we see, okay, line 60 is saying right button. Alright, so let's see. So let's make sure we're in the right place.
we change this guy. All right. So what we can do is, since we already have dot consultation, yeah, we already have dot consultation. What we're going to do is we're going to use this same class for this guy. We just give him a class and tell him that he's going to now have a class called consultation. That's one of the benefits of class. That's one of the benefits of class, that you can just have a class and then give that class another element, and the elements will take the things that are in that class. So if we come down here now, you see it's now black. I feel like this kind of thing it did there. It kind of makes sense, but it's not going to help us it's not going to help us. It's not really going to help us. When telling the user that this is actually a button. So it does not look like a button. So it looks fine here, but nobody will know that this is a button. So what I can do is I can come and I have to come down here and change certain things. Alright, so we'll come down. That's after my work contacts. Alright, so we now have contacts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here and do a button. Alright. Oh, I'm just going to say dot contacts button. Alright. Then check inside do you have anything called consultation? If you do, I want the background color. Now let's look for one of our group colors and use. So that you can bring out all the colors that we've used so far. So we can choose this one. This one is bright, and then we can save. See? Makes sense? Yeah, it does. It makes sense. Alright, and then we can now change. Okay, that's still fine. It's still fine as white. Okay, and then I can now reduce this. I can now reduce it. So that instead of it being this big, we can come here and where is it? It's called contact content. Alright, contact content. So I'm going to come down here and then do contacts content. I'm going to give it a width of, let's say, keep taking 45%. Let me make it a bit bigger. Let me make it 55%. All right, now we don't have any space between this guy and this guy, so we can go and add space there. Can I say contents, contacts, contents? You paste and check if you have any H2. If you do, let's say have a margin bottom. Let's have a margin bottom of 10 pixels. Let's make it 20. Alright, and then for the last piece of the whole thing, this guy here, we already have him here. I'll just go and copy my I'll just go and copy my header. I'll just go and copy my header. Everything that's inside header, I can't copy in. Alright, we copy, we come down here. Alright, we copy, we come down here, and then we paste. So we save again, we go back, and okay. So that is what they did there. Alright, so you can now go and fix the spacing between them. That's not an issue now, is it? You can go and fix the spacing between them. So that's how we've successfully done this. Now, yes, I know that this particular part is not, this guy here is not responsive. He's doing his own thing. Alright, it's not very responsive, but I mean, this guy is not very responsive. This guy, it's not what we asked it to do, but it's still fine the way it is. Alright, it's not exactly what we asked it to do, but it's still fine like this. So we can leave it this way, and then every other thing is working, but just this part. So you can go in and fix it. And I know that yeah, it feels like this is long, alright, but you have to understand that this we used. I had to explain some things, and then we wrote a lot of lines of we wrote so much lines of code. Now this is almost this is 600 in CSS, about 600 in CSS. Wait, about 700, about 8, is almost close to 800, and then HTML is now 200. So imagine writing all these things yourself. You would have spent so much more time doing this than just using AI. So I know that it kind of feels long, but this thing is a faster way of doing it. If you were to write this thing by hand, it will suffer. Alright, it will suffer. So the rest of you guys check if you have this same problem I'm having, or this same thing that is here. If you have it, alright, if you're having the same issue, alright, you should try and fix it. Alright, you should try and fix it. So that'll be all for today. So I'm going to catch you in the next lesson.